So what are we doing in this darkened sound booth together? We are experimenting with a $30 action camera versus the slightly more expensive $129 to $179 GoPro. The reason we're doing this experiment is probably because you're curious as to what these new really inexpensive cameras look like, and I'm curious as to what they look like as well. And my curiosity came from my GoPro 4, which is a camera that I really liked. I bought this a few years ago, and after about a year, it fizzled. It never had very good battery life. I added an extra battery to the back, and it used to get very hot. So there may have been something wrong with this GoPro, but it was right outside the warranty period, right after a year, that it fizzled. So I'm thinking, well, this costs several $100s. Do I want to invest in an expensive camera again, even though it had a very good picture quality and remarkably good sound quality for a little action camera? Or do I want to get one of these El Cheapo cameras? So I bought a variety of them. Now, on the stand in front of me, I've got a traditional GoPro, which is a Hero 3, and I've got a $32 EK7000, which Walmart carries. Amazon has it, and it's supposed to be the GoPro killer action cam. Now, at full price, that sells for about $60, I believe. However, you can find them, that's street prices. You can find them for as little as I did, which is $30 with shipping, extra battery, and a lot of stuff. But I don't want this to sound like a sales pitch for that camera, because I'm sure, just like you, a few extra dollars isn't that important when you have a much better image quality. So does the traditional GoPro that I'm testing have a better image quality than the inexpensive $32 camera? We're here in a semi-darkened sound booth. I didn't light for this scene at all. Instead, I've just got one harsh light, which actually I just looked into and I can't see now, which is just my lighting here for the sound booth. So it's kind of a neat low light situation to sort of compare both cameras. I'm going to take both cameras outside. I've got a little glide cam that I put them on, and I'm going to run around and get those action type shots. So we'll get the easy outdoor shots. I've also got a rig inside the house, and I'm going to just take some pictures in available light, which is the day that I did it, which was earlier today, very low light conditions. It's actually an unexpectedly overcast day. So you'll get kind of a low light indoors comparison. This is not an in-depth comparison of both cameras at all. It's just what I wanted to see when I was looking through YouTube. And that was, I wanted to just see a side-by-side, what does the camera look like? The other thing I'm always curious about is everybody that works in video, I'm sure you know, knows that the most important thing in a camera, not so much in an action camera, but in a camera in general, is sound. So that's why I thought I'd start off in the sound booth. I've got a studio mic that's on right now, so hopefully that's getting pretty decent sound. But let's go ahead and we'll just shut that off magically. Okay, now I'm looking directly into the lens of camera 1. At the end of the video, I will reveal which camera is the GoPro and which is the $32 camera. I didn't want to influence your decision or mine based on knowing the camera in each shot. I wanted to have it just be a free choice. And all of this audio, obviously, is now coming from camera number 1. So let's go ahead and we're going to switch over to camera number 2. So this audio is coming from camera number 2, and you can just compare. I know from doing this before, I do want to warn you that the quality of the audio on an action cam drops off very precipitously when you move it any distance from your subject. Right now I actually played around a little bit and I adjusted my distance, so this is actually optimum distance for picking up voice with an action cam. If you took these cameras another 3 or 4 feet away, you'd hear a lot more hiss as it has that auto gain that boosts in. So that is our sound quality. Let's come back to the mic. Some poor guy in the edit bay is going to have to do all this editing between, oh, that's me. Oh, okay. But without further ado, let's just go outside. We'll get a couple of shots indoors, outdoors. I'm going to put them head to head, switch between the two, 2 or 3 minutes of footage. You can decide for yourself. Help me decide, because I want to know, do we invest or do we go ahead and fill our bag with inexpensive knockoff cameras? Let's go. right, so after all that testing, I'm actually not sure what I think. I noticed that when I took a picture of a very far away helicopter, a little video, with both cameras, that the detail was actually better on camera number 1. And I noticed that the picture quality on camera number 2 was much flatter. Camera number 1 they really crushed the blacks. They really boosted the saturation through the roof. I mean, the grass was almost fluorescent. So you almost have to reverse color correct camera number 1. You have to tone down the colors to have it look normal. And camera number 2 gave a good image if you do your own color correction later. However, if you're not an editor, if you're not a videographer, if you're just shooting the family and you want those vibrant colors, it's possible that camera number 1 is a good choice. Detail was better on camera number 1 in a lot of ways. Gain, I'll let you be the judge, and I'm still completely undecided on what camera I would like to own. So I would appreciate your comments down in the comments as to what you think. And now the big reveal. Camera number 1 was our EK7000. I paid $32 with it, and that included shipping. It also had an extra battery. It had a case full of accessories. You know, for $32, it's really hard to get mad at a camera. And I'm going to be curious as to what you feel the subtleties are on both cameras. And camera number 2 was a GoPro Hero 3 Plus. So that right now, I just looked it up on Sweetwater. I saw it going for anywhere from $129 to $179 for that camera. GoPros are really pretty good cameras, even with the failure I had with mine. But when they fail, it's expensive. So I'm trying to make up my mind. Help me out. I hope the test was useful to you, and we'll have to see what evolves with all these cameras coming out over time.